Legion of Heroes, the Trail series. After 13 games, it's still going strong. And I don't think we anywhere near the end. From the Kingdom of Libel to the province of Frostbell, through the vast empire of Erebonia, and now deep into the Republic of Calvard. We witnesses ancient legacy, modern revolution, and everything in between. Even though I haven't played Beyond the Horizon yet, I know enough to speculate. So today, it's time for some theories. What come after Calvard? What secrets lie in the east of Zemuria? And what will be the final chapter of Trail? Hey everyone, it's Pandragon Valimar. And today's video, I'm gonna talk all about this. Spoiler ahead, especially my one, for Beyond the Horizon, so treat carefully. And now, let's dive into my vision for the future of the Trail series.
Heed my call! Valimar, the Ashen Knight!
From what I've gathered, Beyond the Horizon revolves around the Septerion of Time. After suffering through multiple tragedy, Arkwright's solution retrieved all the Genesis, while the President prepared to launch a spacecraft, hinting to an attempt to see beyond the horizon. It seems this arc is about preventing another reset of the world, something that apparently happened countless times, which sent everything back to year zero, after the Great Collapse. Agnes and the Genesis are at the center of this, and we're nearing the year Einstein predicted. Whether it's Ouroboros, Arwood, or even the Grandmaster herself, forces are clearly gathering. Why there is a route with Reno Kevin? That I do not know, however. Judging by the trailer, there's also something going on with X and Joda, now Enforcer XX, which I think it's 20. And some new Enforcer will also show up. I also guess we're gonna learn more about who Mare really is. A Divine Guardian, maybe? I also heard Norventis is a disciple of Einstein from another timeline, which raised serious question. Is the Grandmaster behind this? Just giving speculation there, even if most Trail fans probably know already everything in Beyond the Horizon because of the Japan release last year. My guess about the end of the game, the hero managed to stop the Septerion of Time, likely at great cost. Norventis probably vanished. Agnes might die using the Genesis, or at least be presumed dead. But if there's one thing we know about Falcom, it's that a major character rarely stay gone forever. Ouroboros will lose another anguish, but the eternal recurrence plan will begin in full. Calvard's story isn't done yet. With Agnes' potential death, Van will be devastated, I'm sure. But him and the rest of Arkwright's solution was still going on. I believe we'll get a direct sequel. Maybe with multiple routes again. This time though, more old favorite might return. Emma definitely need to be there. Rufus and Altina are in Calvard, so why not bringing Uis and Milium again, back in action. I also think Theo, Aliza, and Tira will make an appearance. Why? Because everything here ties back to Einstein, the Herbal Revolution, and the 3 disciple factories. These characters basically work with each Zemuria factory. So it would make sense. Even Estelle and Joshua could come back, as Rand probably stay in Calvard for now. We could visit places like the Art of Le Mans and the Einstein Foundation. It could be a chapter similar to Fragment in Daybreak 2. Le Mans too small for its own arc, but it would be a perfect setting to warp up the Genesis storyline and bring Einstein Legacy full circle. Guess we could finally see the famous face in a flashback. When this arc ends, it'd be the end of the Calvard saga, of Arkwright's solution, and possibly even the Orbital Revolution itself. I'm also confident that the Eternal Recurrence plan of Ouroboros won't be over. We will have 2 Septarion left, Water and Wings. My guess are that the remaining will be at the same country and would be a 4-game arc again. So it would make the 18 game in total. And then one last arc with 2 episodes, which would be the closure of the series. 20 games would be the perfect number. The 10 was Reverie and looked like a conclusion of the previous arc, so could make sense. One question remained though. What's gonna be the next chapter? A bold new era and maybe East Zemuria. Time. The map eastern edge of Zemuria is finally revealed. Welcome to Iskal. A once great holy empire now reduced to an alliance of warring city-state. Mentioned frequently during the Calvard arc, this region is the ancestral home of Au, Clan Ikaruga, and Aryok, who belonging to Clan Rau, which fell during the destruction of the Empire. Those clans were from the legendary Navagraha, 9 Guardian clan that once protected the Ishkan Empire. Here's something quite interesting. The Navagraha are, in Hindu mythology, 9 celestial bodies known as Surya, the sun, Chandra, the moon, Mangala, Mars, Buddha, Mercury, Brihaspati, Jupiter, Shukra, Venus, Shani, Saturn, Rahu, ascending node of the moon, and Ketu, descending node of the moon. My theory? Ikaruga and Au changed their name after the fall of the Empire. Maybe Ikaruga were originally Chandra, and Au were Ketu. That leaves 6 other clans. Surya, Shani, Shukra, Brihaspati, Buddha, and Mangala. Scattered or hidden. East Zemuria culture, manner, and custom appear to be inspired by real-life East Asian tradition. Navagraha is Hinduist, so it would make sense they would be based on this. Two massive issues plague East Zemuria today. The fall of the Holy Empire in S-1078. A great cataclysm scattered Ishkal. Since then, it's no longer unified, but an alliance of city-states still bear their name. Despite this alliance, however, the city-state frequently engage in internal conflict, highlighting a fractured and unstable legacy of the once dominant Ishkal. Then we have the desertification. Land once fertile has turned into desert. Some are even became inhabitable. The dragon vein, once the lifeblood of the nation, are dying. Theories say that it's due to the over-harvesting energy. However, Perhaps the Septarian of Water itself have something to do with it. There is also the dragon, who are revered as celestial beasts in the east. So dragon could maybe be involved there. Learning about the dragon and the civilization could be really interesting. Could be the perfect time for Ragnar to return. Maybe this is where he took his retirement, huh? What if the dragon were one of the original faction to wield a Septarian, like the Gnome or Ixen clan? I believe the dragons once held the Septarian of Wings and used it to control weather and build a mighty civilization. But then the Great Collapse happened, and with that, both Water and Wings Therion vanished. So far, let's check which faction have a Septarian in the past. Space was the Oslis family from the Liberal Arc. Mirage was the Crow family. Fire was the Exant clan. And Earth were the Gnome. As for time, well, we will, or it's already revealed in Beyond the Horizon. Now we have Water and Wing left. Well, my guess is the Holy Empire of Iska had water and the dragon had wings. Thanks to the Septarian of Water, the desert they were living in became fertile land. The dragon with the Septarian of Wings were able to build a great kingdom in the mountain. Being powerful and having a more advanced civilization, the human began to worship the dragon as invaluable beasts. At some point, something went wrong with both Septarian, and it's created a great storm and earthquake, which devastated the entire country. The dragon were the more affected. After the catastrophe, humans relied on dragon guidance to rebuild. They then discovered Septarian convergence point, called them Dragon Vein, to gather the energy of the land and use it to give terrain to the nation. But overuse led to environmental collapse, the desertification, and the empire fell for good. The Navagra then disbanded and went all to their own way. 3 clans are known: Ayu, Ikaruga, and Raru, now extinct. The rest lost or scattered. As for the Empire of Iskal itself, like I mentioned earlier, it's no longer unified, but an alliance of city-states still bear their name, but all engaged into eternal conflict. There is sometimes meeting when they try to go into agreement about how to rule the country and how to deal with the desertification. Unfortunately, it's never worked. Humans also tried to contact the dragon multiple times, but never appeared after the fall of the Empire. That left people wondering if some were still alive. This set the stage for an interesting new arc. For the Water and Wing arc, I envision a title like Trails, There of Resonance. Its 5th past title reflects their Septarian theme, and this could too. If we check the previous game, we had Hero who were Bracer, Police, Student, and then a Spriggan. The protagonist we had was Joshua and Estelle in the Sky, Lloyd in Crossbell, Green in Erebonia, Van and Agnes in Calvard. Judging by what happened after the fall of the Holy Empire of Iska, the Navagra, which were 9 clans, each went to their separate way. Eru and now are a crime syndicate, and Ikaruga became mercenary. As for Raru, well, they fell during the cataclysm that caused the fall of the Empire. 6 clans are still unknown. I would see the main protagonist as a member of those remaining clans. So the protagonist, a mercenary from the hidden Surya clan, son, once the second strongest of the Navagraha. His clan fled into isolation after the empire fell, a shame they couldn't protect the emperor. Considering his family weak and that the clan should be restored, the protagonist left and then became what he is today. The game could start as the main protagonist is hired to protect a mysterious girl who turns out to be a descendant of the Ishkan Emperor. Together, they journey to reunite the lost clan and restore the Navagraha and the Holy Empire. They will also confronting a group of villains with a leader who claim to be the new emperor. His method, brutality, and fear. He wants to kill the girl because he knows who she is and see her as a threat to his plan. During that quest, the two heroes will meet, of course, new character who will become the other team member. My theory is there will be at least 6 members, and some could belong to other clans, aside maybe Karuga and AU. Then at some point in this arc, the internal conflict in Ishkal would be over, and the Holy Empire would be restored, along with the Navagraha. The story will then focus more on the desertification and the real truth behind it. The more we will advance in the story, the more we're gonna learn about the Septarian of Water and Wings. The dragons will also be an important part to the plot, as I mentioned earlier. As always, Ouroboros will be of course behind the scene and face us as they will continue their last planned phase. Capenella will show up once again, along with maybe some old and new enforcer. Why not make Burn? I'm pretty sure Falcom gonna also reveal the last 2 remaining Anguis, and maybe those who will replace the Seal Maiden and Orentis. Aside from member of Ouroboros, I would see other character coming back. The key phase from the past arc I expect to see. Green and Yunka 5, their connection to Ikaruga and the desertification issue make their return unlikely. Shizuna, as Ikaruga's strongest and leader, should play a role in knowing her, perhaps even clashing with the protagonist. Rixa and AU, back in the east to reconnect with their root and support the West Zemuria Federation anti-desertification research. The Epstein Trio, Professor Hamilton, Professor Schmidt, and Professor Russell. With them, Tida, Theo, Quadre, and even Estelle, Agathe, Joshua, and Ren may return. Tida, now an adult, probably have now an important role in the CCF, sorry. So there is a high chance that she will be there. I heard some rumor and people talk about it, that the last game title could be Legend of Hero, Trail Miracle. Considering Kiseki mean miracle in Japanese, that would make perfect sense that it would be the last title of the series. Here my speculation. After all Septarian are addressed, Ouroboros complete their internal recurrence plan. Now the time has come for the last stage. Chaos spread. 5 routes open, each led by the hero of previous arc. Libel, Crossbell, Erebonia, Calvard, and Zemuria. I don't know when, but we gonna in this arc going to Arteria at some point. Then final battle against the Grandmaster herself, in the Celestial Globe of course. When the hero will succeed beating the Grandmaster, she will congratulate them and will announce that our final plan is now over. In a shocking twist, she will reveal herself as Helios. The entire plan wasn't for destruction. It was preparation. In countless timelines, humanity failed. But this is the first where they succeeded. Helios now deemed them ready to face a cosmic threat greater than anything seen before. What is it, Gehenna, the Abyss? A darkness beyond comprehension? We will find out in the last game. We'll end this with a side note. You know, I never really trusted the church and trails. So why not discover a dark truth about them? Why they were collecting all their artifacts in the first place? Well, my guess is they want to use all of them or something. However, it's unknown by the Growl Rider. Till out this time they were only pawn. So that's my grand theory on where the Trail series is headed. Will its call come true? Probably not. But half the fun of a series this rich in lore is dreaming up what could be. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think we headed to Zemuria next? What are your own theory about the final arc, the Grandmaster, or the Septarian? Drop your thought in the comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. I stream most night at 7 PM EST. I regularly post trail lore, game playthrough, tier lists, and more. Thank you for watching, and as always, may Helios guide you. And dragons offline.